Thanks, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to another week of Tiger football. I'm Jordan Wood, joined by Blake Heisey in the booth. Lee Summit taking on Raytown High School tonight. The Blue Jays and the Tigers face to face. It's going to be a good one tonight. The Tigers coming into this one 2-4. The Blue Jays 3-3. Before we get started up here in the booth and get too far ahead of ourselves, we're going to go down to the field. Lauren Holdmeyer's got a quick update for us, and then we'll get things kicked off.
Thanks, guys. After 2 away games, the 2-4 Lee Summit Tigers are ready to play on their home turf. Scoring only 37 points in the last 2 games, the Tigers are eager for a win against a non-conference opponent, the Raytown Blue Jays. Oddly enough, the Blue Jays have not lost on the road yet this year. The Tigers are looking to break that record using players like quarterback Tommy Locke, who is currently ranked first in the league for passing yards. We're also looking forward to seeing what defensive lineman Max Weisner has to bring to the table tonight after announcing his commitment to Mizzou on September 21st. In order to keep up with their tough opponent, the North Kansas City Hornets, and remain third place in the league, tonight's game is a must-win for the Lee Summit Tigers. This is Lauren Holdmeyer reporting for Tiger Broadcast. Back to you in the booth.
Alrighty, folks. We're about a minute away from kickoff. There's not a whole lot more to be said about this one. Tommy Locke tonight will be reportedly taking a couple less snaps from the quarterback position. They'll be giving some to Landon Shepard, who is normally a pretty consistent option at wide receiver. But he's always taken snaps at quarterback, or at least this season, and he's done a pretty good job of it. So we'll see how he's able to do tonight. Tigers ready to kick. The Blue Jays won the toss and elected to receive, so they'll get things kicked off for us. It'll be Troy Huffman ready to go. Blake, anything you want to say ahead of tonight's contest here before we get going? Just a couple of seconds away from getting things started here.
Well, you already mentioned, Jordan, there's been, reports that Landon Shepard's going to take a few more snaps tonight than usual, so him and Tommy Locke will kind of split the QB role a little more. But as for the Tigers, I think they really need to pick things up a little bit offensively, and I think that's part of the reason why Landon Shepard's going to go in there. Just try to switch things up, just see if they can get anything working. And this Raytown team, their defense, they have yet to give up more than 30 points in any game so far this season. So this is really going to be a test of the Tigers' offensive strength tonight. We're going to see truly where they're at and if they can possibly pick up a third win of the season. At
the same time, another report was that the Tigers are going to be going to a 4-3 on defense as opposed to a 3-4, so a little bit more up front in terms of pass rush. That one a little bit of a squib from Huffman, but he's got the leg on it to get it out the back of the end zone, so nobody on the Blue Jays roster has a chance to get any hands on it until their quarterback and center will be the first two to touch the ball tonight. So again, as we mentioned, Tigers coming into this one 2-4, Blue Jays 3-3. The 7th week of high school football here live from Bud Hertzog Stadium. It's Nate Whitebear at the quarterback position taking the snaps tonight for Raytown. He'll get things started here. A man in motion for the Blue Jays. Handoff goes to the left-hand side. Kyle Girding, a diving effort, but it's Jimmy McGovern that's in there for the tackle.
Hopefully the Tigers also switching that up. Jordan, you mentioned that how they're switching up how their D-backs and linebackers are lining up tonight. That hopefully should also help them stop the run and also, like you said, get some more pressure on the quarterback.
I will say here briefly something to hedge myself a little bit of space later on. The numbers on the Blue Jays uniforms are quite hard to read for us up here in the booth. Some of the numbers kind of sticking together, and some of the 6s looking like 8s and 5s looking like 0s, and it's going to be a rough night. So I apologize to any Blue Jays fans watching this one tonight. If I call someone the wrong name, I'm not quite as familiar with them as I am the Tigers. The Tigers get in the backfield on the last one, 3rd and 4 to come for the Blue Jays. Another man in motion. Somebody jumped. We'll have to wait and see who the call is on.
Yeah, it's going to be on the Tigers. That's going to give Blue Jays a first down. Blue Jays look like they're going to try to practice that hard count tonight and already got the Tigers to jump, so the Tigers have got to be aware. They can't give away free yardages and free first downs like that if they want a chance to win this game.
It was Xander Samuels, the man in motion, that got the Tigers jumping. Here's another snap ready for Whitebear. Another handoff. No, he's going to keep it himself. A little option here. He's got places to go with it. And instead, he's brought down at around the 35-yard line. So not a whole lot coming out of that one. A couple of yards moving forward, and it'll be about 2nd and 6 for the Blue Jays to come.
Last time we were up here, Jordan, calling a game together, Tigers were facing off against the St. Joe Central Indians, and they ran that option play quite a bit and actually fooled you and I quite a bit as well.
Yeah, I will be the first one to admit I have trouble finding that football on some of those plays. I saw it that time, and the Tigers did as well. They'll stuff the handoff right around the line of scrimmage, about 1.5 yards maybe, but not a whole lot else.
Here we are again. Last time it was 3rd down and 4. The Tigers jumped off sides. They absolutely need to listen to that count, make sure that ball is snapped before they go, or else, once again, that's just going to be a free first down.
I was talking to some of the Tigers. They feel like when their defense has some pretty good field position to work with, they do a good job of stuffing offense's chances. They'll do it here. It was Jimmy McGovern with the good read on the play. He gets the first hit, and then somebody else comes in there, I believe Kyle Girding for the tackle. So it'll be 4th down and 2, 9:35 left here in the first quarter. And I believe the Blue Jays are going to go for it here on their first 4th down.
This is a huge momentum swing right here. If the Tigers can put a stop to the Raytown offense right here, that would be absolutely huge and completely change the momentum just 3 minutes into this game.
Once again, man in motion. He goes right back where he started. Xander Samuels maybe heard it wrong or trying to get the Tigers to jump again. Again, there's an extra man on that line of scrimmage for the Tigers tonight. They'll try to run it up the middle. The Tigers, I believe, met the challenge, and they'll be starting with the ball on the 40-yard line of the Blue Jays. So great field position for this Tigers offense. And how about that momentum swing that you were talking about, Blake?
That is absolutely huge, Jordan. That itself could decide this game. The Tigers, if they get a quick score here.
Well, we know how good they are whenever they when they have momentum. I don't know, and this may be biased for myself, but when Tigers have momentum, no matter what year it's been that I've had the pleasure of calling Tiger football, they are a scary team, both on the offensive and defensive ends. It'll be Tommy Locke coming out, taking the first snaps at quarterback. Jalen Johnson in the backfield with him. Nate Morse, John Moritz to the right, and Nycene Brewer, the lone man on the left for the Tigers. Handoff goes to Johnson here to start this Tigers offense. He's going to get about a yard or two out of it, and not a whole lot more than that. So it'll be 2nd and 9 for the Tigers.
Of course, it's been a known thing all season that Jalen Johnson is a force to be reckoned with at that running back position. If the Tigers can get him going tonight, give him some momentum himself, Blue Jays defense is going to be in for a rude awakening.
Well, and not only that, but they've got Jordan Hempill standing in there behind him. Whenever they need that quick man, they've got him. They don't need speed here. Jalen Johnson breaking out to the left-hand side, a first down for the Tigers. Broke a couple tackles to get there. Someone tried to dive and trip him and grab a foot. He kept on going. And his momentum carries him all the way up to the 27-yard line. So the Tigers knocking on the door here with just 8:20 left in the first quarter.
Tigers trying to get the Blue Jays to jump off sides right there, just like the Blue Jays were able to get them. Blue Jays more fortunate they didn't fall for it.
Locke and Johnson still the two in the backfield for the Tigers. Locke hands it off. No, keeps it himself. What did I say about missing the ball? Locke wisely dives down, doesn't pull a Joe Burrow and try to go right at him. And a decent run that time for Locke as the defense was confused at least for a moment, as was I. And he's going to pull off about a 4-yard scramble for Lee Summit there.
I don't mean to make you sound bad, Jordan, but I was pretty confident Tommy Locke had the ball the whole time there, to be honest with you.
I need new glasses, I believe. That's going to be my excuse for tonight. We'll see if I can come up with any other ones throughout the year as I continue to call these games. Locke and Johnson still the two in the backfield, 3 receivers to the left. He's going to throw one to Johnson, who broke off over to that left-hand side. He's not going to get a whole lot more than about 2 on it, as he's hit just about as soon as it touched his hands. And with 7:12 left, the Tigers are on the 22, and they've got a 3rd and 5 to come.
Big 3rd down here, Jordan. Raytown could just completely destroy all the Tigers' momentum that they've had up to this point from that 4th down stop. If they're able to stop the Tigers here on 3rd down, this is a huge play for the early part of this game.
That was the first pass play that we saw the Tigers implement to this point. A man in motion for the Tigers. They'll hand it off there on a jet sweep, and nobody on that defense was fooled. Joshua Manning was the one to get it, but he's brought down pretty much immediately, and it'll be 4th down and 10 for the Tigers to come.
Just kind of a good read there from the Blue Jays defense. Like you said, they weren't fooled whatsoever. And here we are on 4th down.
I think the Tigers are going for it. They've got Landon Shepard out there this time at quarterback. Jalen Johnson in the backfield with him. Anthony Wilson here comes to the near side. Nate Morse out to the left. Funny enough, LaJuan Miller out there playing offense for this snap. That's not something you're going to see a whole lot. So the Tigers going to maybe try to throw a trickery here with 4th and 10. 6 minutes left. They've got to be confident in this play. Shepard rolls out to his right. Now pulling back to the left, looks for Morse, and it's picked off on the left-hand side. Here come the Blue Jays trying to run it back. Look at the speed of Morse to recover. But it was Tamarian Cashier who got there, intercepts it, and runs it back for about a 20-yard return.
Well,
and there goes the Tiger momentum.
Yeah, I was just about to say, if the Tigers gained any momentum from their defensive showing out there on that first drive, Blue Jays just got it all back, and now the Blue Jays are obviously going to try to take that momentum they just got from that pretty electric play of an interception there.
Well, I think the play just blew up there. Shepard had nothing to his right, and as soon as he turns back, he sees Nate Morse. But the defender with a ball hawk style read jumps right in front of it, gets there before Morse can. Great read by the Blue Jays. Snap here, they'll try to get forward. Tigers defense is still awake, though. They'll stop it at the line of scrimmage.
And Jordan, I think on that 4th down, I think the Tigers were trying to get it in there to Max Wisner. He was lined up in the slot. Unfortunately, obviously Max Wisner, a big name, so the Blue Jays were probably all over him. And like you said, the play just blew up. Landon Shepard had nowhere to go.
Not a whole lot that you can do whenever the team reads pretty well what you're doing, and that's what the Blue Jays did there. They'll hand it off up the middle here, trying to get a couple more yards. That's just about what they'll do, getting it now to the 46-yard line.
Already a good job by the Tigers to force a 3rd and 5 here. If they can get the ball right back in a short amount of time, then obviously that's exactly what you want to see. This Tigers defense, really good showing here through the first 7 minutes.
3rd down and 5. They've held them to 2 3rd and 4s and a 3rd and 5 to this point. They'll hand it off again to the right-hand side. The Tigers were fooled. That time there's space up the middle. Room to run for the Blue Jays. Kyle Girding, the last one, trying to chase him down. But there's no catching Xander Samuels, who gets all the way into the end zone. And the Blue Jays are up 6-0 here to start this ball game off. And despite a rocky start, their first couple of offensive touches, they've switched it around here, and an explosive run there by the Blue Jays.
You got to give the offensive coordinator credit for Raytown. Obviously, a lot of runs going on early in this game for the Blue Jays, and they kind of switched it up there, a little trickery. And obviously, it resulted very well for them. 6 points on the board.
Couple of fakes, a switchback, a handoff to one, a handoff to another. I don't know what happened, and I don't think the Tigers defense did either. 6 points and now an extra point split the uprights. 7-0 Blue Jays here in the first quarter with 4:47 remaining. And the Tigers are going to get their hands back on this football.
Well, that wasn't very expected, Jordan. Obviously, Tigers defense had a really good showing up to that point, and then all of a sudden, 50-plus yard touchdown. And obviously, that's not what you want to see, but if the Tigers can come out here, this next drive is going to be critical. If they can put 7 points on the board themselves, then obviously that drive before, obviously, it doesn't really matter in terms of the long run because they can tie this one up. But
Xander Samuels was the one who got the call, 5'10", 170, just a sophomore, but it didn't matter. He's able to use the jets, turn them on, and get all the way up the field. A fantastic run, and 7 points on the board as a result. Devin Andrews and Nate Morse, the two back to return for the Tigers. Again, 4:47 here left in the first quarter. If you're just joining us, I'm Jordan Wood. Blake Heisey, the only other person up here in the booth with me tonight. We hope that you enjoy our stream. We'll go down to a couple of sideline report updates from Lauren Holdemeyer. An onside kick here, recovered by John Moritz, who grabbed it right around the 50. A good reaction time jump and dive for Moritz. Good job to get his hands on it there. That's never easy to do.
And I'm telling you, Coach Thomas is going to love that there from Moritz because obviously that caught us off guard up here, Jordan. No one was really expecting that, and Moritz was there, and now the Tigers have good field position. The 49-yard line is where they're going to start this drive. Obviously, if Moritz doesn't pick that up, that's good field position for Raytown. So great play by Johnny Moritz. Coach Eric Thomas is going to love that.
I was looking back at Morse and Andrews trying to hedge a bet to see which one would return it. My money was on Morse, but it's John Moritz the one that grabs it. And fantastic field position. The Tigers couldn't really ask for much better. As Locke and Johnson are once again the two in the backfield. Handoff goes to Johnson up the middle, runs after his tackles and runs into a pile. Gain of about a yard on the play, 4:35 remaining in the first quarter.
You know what I'm waiting for, Jordan, is whenever we're going to see Nate Morris get more involved in this offense. You know, he's obviously a huge playmaker for the Tigers, and they need to get him going, not just Jalen Johnson.
Locke once again ready for the snap. Nate Morse the one in motion. Fake a handoff to Johnson. Locke keeps it himself. I saw it that time, and so did the defense. Holy cow, what a hit. Locke was starting to hit the deck anyways, and a defender helps him out. I didn't quite see who it was that got the hit.
Yeah, the Blue Jays were definitely not fooled on that one, Jordan, and neither were you. Good job, Jordan. You really, your eyes are improving.
I found it that time. I did well, I will say. I don't think I'm one to brag, but, I mean, that was a pretty good read from myself, I will admit.
You should be down there in a Raytown uniform, Jordan.
Locke looking to the right-hand side. There's Nate Morse, just as you mentioned, getting a hand going in this offense. His helmet flew off on the hit.
I'm telling you, every time Nate Morse does something, he loses some part, of his uniform. He lost his cleats many times last game. Now he's already losing his helmet on his first catch of the game. What is it with this guy, man?
Well, and if it's not a part of his uniform, he'll normally lose a defender or two trying to get forward. Very shifty, very fast. I've probably said that hundreds of times these last couple of years, but you can't talk enough about the speed and power that he possesses when he gets his hands on that ball. Moritz looking, Locke looking over for Moritz. It slipped through his hands.
I assumed the Tigers were going to throw that screen pass out to Landon Shepard.
I did too. I saw him over in the flat, and I thought that was the target. He had some space to go as well if Moritz would have blocked rather than being the target there.
Looks like Landon Shepard's going to take this snap now as we talked about before the game.
Still joined by Johnson in the backfield. Handoff will go to Jalen Johnson. He gets it up to about the 31 and is brought down there. So about a yard gained. And this Tigers offense once again stopped just outside of field goal position. 3rd and 8 to come.
I'll tell you what, if I saw Landon Shepard getting ready to take the snap and Jalen Johnson's behind him, I'd be pretty scared if I was a Raytown Blue Jay. Those guys are both very strong guys.
Well, and looking at any sort of option like we'll see here, they're going to have to worry about Shepard, but there's about 8 people back in that backfield, and once again, we're just seeing a Tigers play collapse before it really can develop. I don't know if I can credit that to great play by the Blue Jays or less than stellar offense from the Tigers, but another Tigers drive is stuffed just outside of the 20-yard line.
And I think that's just a blocking issue for the Tigers, and I think that'll get better over the game goes on. As the game goes on, I think that'll get better, but sometimes early in the game you go through the motions, and you shouldn't have 6 Blue Jays swarming one guy, but Tigers have typically been good on blocking all season.
They've also been typically good at punting. Here's Alex Benassi. Another beautiful punt. I think that they kept it in and on the 1-yard line. How about that? Alex Benassi needs to get signed somewhere as a punter. I wouldn't mind him replacing Tommy Townsend right now for the Chiefs. He has been nothing short of perfect all year long punting that football for Lee Summit.
Yeah, just the last game we called, last time we were in the booth up here, Jordan, Alex Benassi had 2 punts downed inside the 5-yard line, and here we are. What is it, on the inch-yard line? I mean, are you kidding me? What a punt.
There's no room for error right now for this Blue Jays offense. The Tigers defense, if they're able to come up here with a stop, we've talked about momentum shifts. That would be a bigger one than we've seen all game, even bigger than the 50-plus yarder from the Blue Jays earlier on. 1:57 left here in the first quarter. White Bear taking snaps inside of his end zone.
It's a quality run there by the Blue Jays to get, out of being pinned down there. It was a first down, so more than a 10-yard gain. Kind of the chance of a safety kind of dwindling away for the Tigers now.
I believe it was Zamari Gary there that was in the Wildcat formation getting the snap for the Blue Jays that time. And just like you said, getting out from their from the back line there. And finally moving up into position here. They'll do it again with Gary, and he's going to pick up another 3 or 4.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to slowly move their way up the field and just get farther away from that end zone. You just want to eliminate any chance of having the 2 hands over the head signal or the safety for 2 points for the Tigers. I like the play calling so far for Raytown.
White Bear will come back out there at the quarterback spot. My eyes aren't deceiving me this time. Man in motion once again. I think Crawford might have jumped another time. No flag that time. Xander Samuels, there's something about that little run back that Bud wants to jump on. I can't see the ball, and run to the right-hand side. They'll get it up a couple of yards. The Tigers, obviously, it's better for them to see it better than I am, and they are at the moment.
It's about to be a battle of the Tigers' defensive line versus the Blue Jays' offensive line. 3rd down and 2 here. Another huge play as time dwindles down in this quarter. Just seconds left.
Just 20 to be exact. Running down is the clock. White Bear in the backfield. Once again, Samuels in motion. The Tigers jumped on it again. Goodness gracious. They've shown it to him every single time. and several Tigers going off.
And that is the second time in this quarter, Jordan, that the Tigers have given the Blue Jays a first down by just jumping off sides on third down. That can't happen if you want to win this game if you're the Tigers.
It's just a free first down that time, and that'll run out the first quarter. So the score 7-0. Blue Jays with a little bit of pep in their step moving forward. We'll have to see if it will continue. We'll see you in just a moment. We're going to pay a couple of bills, go to a word from our sponsor. We'll be back in just a moment.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on and on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
We apologize for that. We were giving you commentary, but not talking, apparently. A technical error for us up here. 2nd and 7. The amount of yards the Blue Jays will need. Once again, a man in motion for him. Handoff will go to him to the left-hand side, going up the middle. Once again, the ball moving forward. Jordan, and correct me if I'm wrong, but have the Blue Jays thrown the ball yet?
Jordan, I was just about to say that to you. I was just about to say that someone from home is probably going to correct me, but here we go. I really don't think the Blue Jays have thrown the ball so far, and if you're the Tigers, I mean, that should theoretically make it a little easier for you. Almost know what they're doing every play.
I think you could almost go into a goal line defense and stack the box a little bit. Here comes another one, a run. This time it's White Bear keeping it himself. He's got space once more. This Tigers defense is having troubles with that run, and it's White Bear at the helm giving them fits.
It's like we're just seeing halfback dives, QB draws, options all over the place. Not any passing plays, I should say. And obviously the Tigers haven't found a way to stop them besides that first possession.
1st and 10, a fresh set of downs. 10 minutes running. Here comes a quarterback sneaker right up the middle on a fake jet sweep. And another 5 yards. It's Nate Whitebear moving it forward once more.
I wonder what it's like to be, to live a life of a Raytown wide receiver right now. Not a lot of action.
A lot of blocking.
Just a lot of blocking, a lot of physical work.
Well, I don't think you can be too mad at it whenever you're up and it's working. 2nd and 5. Surely, eventually, they will throw a pass. A man in motion. A handoff up the middle. And another 5 or 6 yards for the Blue Jays. Freddie Ursery, the one getting the call.
What they're doing is they stack up last second, then they kind of hand it off to what appears to be kind of like a fullback role. And he's able to just get in there very quick before the Tigers can even close any gaps.
Ursery certainly has the size for it. 5'11", 185. A big guy in that backfield, hard to bring down. And if you can't tell, he's got some speed to him as well. Here we go. Here's a pass play to the right-hand side. Finally some action, and it's overthrown to the wide receivers of the Blue Jays. Again, the first time we've seen a pass play all night long, and it landed about 10 yards away from the nearest targets.
I won't lie, Jordan, I got a little excited there.
I did too. I was kind of excited for the secondary, a little excited for those wide receivers, and excited for that quarterback. I mean, think about it too. Whiteberry's had a couple of sneaks himself, but as a quarterback, I feel like you want to throw the ball, not just hand it off. He's going to keep it himself this time. It's an option. The Tigers read it well. They're going to get in the backfield and meet him right around the 35-yard line. He's brought down at the 34, so it'll be 3rd and 9, and finally this Tigers defense looks like they're waking up just a little bit.
They are, Jordan, and obviously maybe it was just Raytown throwing the ball once to get the Tigers to get a little more confident
Snap
back there.
into gear.
3rd and 9 now. Are we going to see another pass play here, or are they going to go with the run once again?
8:32. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They have been moving and grooving. They'll hand it off. There it is. A ton of players moving each and every way. They're going to get all the way up there, and I believe past the first down marker once again.
Yeah, they are going to say he got past the line, and if you're the Tigers, that one hurts mentally.
They were there in the backfield. That's got to stink if you're a Tiger defender. A couple of players missing a tackle in the backfield, and another first down for the Blue Jays right as they looked like they were getting right back into it. There goes another little trick play from the Blue Jays, a bunch of fake handoffs, and then finally the handoff to Zamari Gary. And the Tigers, they read it pretty well, but just weren't able to wrap up in time. Here comes another option. White Bear going to the right-hand side. He's going to get down inside the 15-yard line. A flag is thrown. Jimmy McGovern was the one there for the tackle. I couldn't quite see what the call was.
It's going to be a horse collar tackle against the Tigers.
So they'll move it up even further. Yep. That's exactly what it was.
And talk about the really creative play design so far by the Blue Jays as well on that 3rd down and long. Looked like they had about 5 running backs twirling and running circles, and then the timing was perfect, and obviously it worked out. They got the first down on a 3rd and long on a run play. Just seems they pull something new out of their pocket every single time.
We've seen one repeat play, and it was the one that they broke for more than 50 yards, and they got a first down the second time they ran it. So this Blue Jays offense is one well-oiled machine, and there's a fine example of it once again. Zamari Gary, 5'7", 180, finding a hole up the middle, busting through it and getting all the way into pay dirt. 13-0 Blue Jays.
And man, if you're the Tigers and you're on that defensive side, this one truly, you felt like you let them get away. They had him in the backfield on that 3rd down and long, and it results in 7 points. Good job by the Blue Jays to take advantage of their opportunities early on.
The second chance for a PAT. You said it, that one's got to stink for Lee Summit. Once again, they'll split the uprights. The score now is 14-0. And the Blue Jays are on a roll here to get this one started. Despite a little hitch in the works that the Tigers threw in there to start this ball game off, the first drive the Blue Jays had was stopped in just 2 down changes. And since then, the Blue Jays have caught fire, not only on the offensive end, but they've stopped the Tigers from getting even to the 20-yard line. And Lee Summit finds themselves down 14-0 with 7:20 to play in this second quarter.
This is another big possession here for the Tigers. They need to get something on the board eventually. They can't go into halftime with a goose egg on the scoreboard. They got to at least try to chip away at Raytown's lead here, even if it's just 1 field goal. That'd be a moral victory there for the Tigers early on.
I think if they can do that and then maybe look solid on defense as well. Here comes that onside kick once again. John Moritz the one to grab it.
Once again, Moritz taking good control of that onside kick. that might, obviously, since that's happened twice now, that might be a thing Raytown's going to try to do all night.
That took a tough hop. Good job by Moritz to read it like you said. And yeah, I would imagine that we're going to see a little bit more of that from Raytown as they start moving more and more into this game. Tommy and Jalen Johnson in the backfield. Tommy Locke, that is. 1st and 10 for the Tigers from their own 48. Fake a handoff to Johnson. Pass will go to Nate Morse. He's got a little bit of room if he can break away. A grab onto the jersey there, and finally they'll ring around Rosie, slam him down to the ground. It'll be 2nd and 5 or 6 to go here for the Tigers offense.
A few games ago, Jordan, you coined that phrase, ring around the Rosie tackle.
I sure did. I stand by it. Landon Shepard in motion here. Handoff will go up the middle with Johnson this time. A couple of yards out of it, not a whole lot more. It'll be about 3rd and 2. The Tigers trying to chip away to that 1st down marker.
And I'll be honest, I don't really agree with the Blue Jays' decision to try to go for that onside kick. The Tigers just sitting here with good field position. They haven't even got a 1st down yet, and here they are on the Blue Jays side of the field. When you're up 14-0 at this point in the game, I say you just kick it deep.
Maybe just trying to run it up even more to give the Tigers no hopes. Because they've not been bad kicks. It's just been good recovery by the Tigers, if I'm honest. Handoff goes to Johnson once again to the right-hand side. They're going to say he got enough up to about the 41-yard line. So Lee Summit moving the chains here, finally starting to get a little bit of wind in their sails, it looks like.
That last lunge forward there by Johnson was able to get him that 1st down. That's brilliant. And here we go. I see Max Weisner. It looks like he's going to be lining up on the left side of the field here. And if I was going to predict anything, I'd say we were going to see a run here with Weisner possibly blocking.
Weisner, the recent Missouri commit. Landon Shepard going to give it a little switchback coming up to the right-hand side. He's got some space. He's going to keep on moving past the 1st down marker and all the way up to about the 26-yard line. So a solid run that time for Shepard, who instead gets it up to the 25. And another solid 1st down for the Tigers with just 5:30 to play here in the 2nd quarter. They've got tons of time to get into that end zone. Handoff this time. Is that LaJuan Miller, or are my eyes deceiving me? To the left-hand side, it's LaJuan Miller running with the ball, getting out of bounds after about a 5-yard gain. I can't believe what I just saw.
We're in shock up here in the booth. LaJuan Miller with a nice little run for 2 yards. And I believe
and that's the one that's down on the ground.
Man, he goes in for one play and that happens, man.
Grabbing the back of his knee. And we'll join everybody else here in the stadium and go into silent mode here for just a moment and hope LaJuan's okay. Alrighty, thankfully enough, LaJuan able to pop up, jog off to the sideline on his own power, maybe just a shock whenever he hit the ground there. Nevertheless, Locke and Johnson will resume play here in the backfield for Lee Summit. Weisner, the tight end, to the right, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Weisner now in motion to the left-hand side. A flag is thrown.
Someone jumped.
That was either Tyler Baird of the Tigers or somebody on the Blue Jays. They will say offsides. So 5 yards and a free 1st down for Lee Summit.
Hey, look at that. The Blue Jays kind of repaying some rent that the Tigers,
The Tigers running the same play the Blue Jays did, getting free 5 yards. I don't know why more teams don't do it or do it more often. But there goes Lee Summit, 5 yards of 1st down, and now inside the 20 for the first time tonight at the 15-yard line. Locke looking to pass. It's a screen to the left-hand side. It's caught and now into the end zone. A touchdown for the Tigers. They're on the board, and it's Nyseem Brewer, the one that's getting in there on senior night. And 6 points for the Tigers as they're trying to come back into this ball game with 4:43 remaining. Lovely play that time from Lee Summit.
And the increased capacity here at Bud Hertzog Stadium from the last contest.
You can tell the difference.
They erupt. They erupt.
Finally a little bit of energy going throughout the stadium as the Tigers now have 7 thanks to Troy Huffman splitting the uprights.
And here we go, Jordan. 4 minutes remaining in this half. Can the Tigers possibly get the ball back, chip away at the lead even more?
If they can get that punt or that kickoff back deep enough, I wouldn't say no, simply because it's been interesting. I don't know that the Blue Jays will have enough time to get it up the field unless they just use their timeouts incredibly effectively, because if you think about it, they've had 1 passing play to this point. They're going to have to run that ball and get it out of bounds quickly if they're going to do anything here in this half. 14-7, they still have the lead, so it's not super desperate that they do anything.
And I guess you could say that's the consequence of kicking it short and trying to be greedy and go for another possession if you're the Blue Jays. All the Tigers had to do was go about 50 yards, and there they are on the scoreboard, 14-7. That's exactly what they needed to do.
Well, if the kick is kept in play and not out of the back of the uprights, we know Huffman's got a leg. It'll be Jordan Robinson and Zamari Gary that are in the backfield ready to return. Again, that's if their services are necessary. 4:43 remaining. The Tigers ready to go here, given a chance at defense. It's back into the left-hand side. Gary touched it. He caught it back at about his own 1. Here he comes trying to get up the field. He's going to be met by a brick wall of Tigers at about the 31, or 21 rather. And he's not going to get a whole lot further than that.
That was almost like Alex Benassi placed kick right there.
That was wonderfully done by Huffman. And honestly, I'm a little confused as to why Gary touched it. He was catching it back on his back foot, reaching out with one hand. I would have let it either go out the back of the end zone or maybe get the penalty flag and take it at the 40. Instead, Gary sticks his hands out and catches it and returns it back to about the 23.
It's kind of just like a mental lapse right there. I think he should have let it go as well. But, I mean, they did get up to – they got past the 20-yard line, so, I mean, I guess it worked out in the end.
Once again, here comes a handoff to the left-hand side, and there goes space on the first play of this drive. Finally brought down by Thomas Smith. Xander Samuels is having a game.
He is really killing the Tigers' defense right now with those explosive plays. You had his 50-plus yard touchdown for the first score of this game, and now here we are as time dwindles down in the first half. Here he is again.
I officially redact my statement. I now think the Blue Jays will have enough time to get into the end zone. 4:21 remaining. Blue Jays are leading 14-7. We're going to take a quick break, listen to another ad real fast. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere.
Gear up at Academy Sports and Outdoors. It's back to school time, and at Academy, your favorite brands are all in play. Like Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, Crocs, Puma, and the North Face. Bring on the fun and get out there. Whether you're playing for the home team or perfecting your game at home, at Academy, we'll bring the fun to you. Buy online and pick up curbside or in-store and get free shipping on orders over $25.
Gear up at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
And we're back here at Bud Hertzog Stadium. Again, 7-14 Tigers down here in the second quarter. Just 4:21 remaining in the half. Another big breakaway run from Xander Samuels gets the ball all the way up to the 31-yard line. And he brought it all the way from his own 23. And the Blue Jays offense once again in dangerous territory here for the Tigers. 1st and 10, the handoff goes up the middle. It's Gary leaving his feet, diving forward, and getting all the way up to about the 25-yard line. And despite only one passing play tonight from the Blue Jays, the Tigers have not been able to find an answer.
They really haven't, Jordan. And are we right when we say that there's only been one pass play from the Blue Jays so far in this game? I do think we're correct when we say that. And once again, you know, we're getting really close to halftime here. So if the Blue Jays can go into halftime with the lead and say, we've only passed the ball one time this half, I really wonder what they're going to try to do in the second half more. Run the ball.
Handoff here goes to Gary. And surprise, surprise, he's picking up solid yards once again for the Blue Jays, up to about the 18-yard line. And there go the Chainsmen marching once again, a first down for the Blue Jays.
Once again, it just seems easy for the Blue Jays at this point to get through that Tigers defensive line and get through those gaps. The Tigers just aren't closing them quick enough. And when they are, they're met with a big block there by Raytown.
And it's interesting, especially the Tigers adding another man to that defensive line. It's not helped particularly to this point. That time, several Tigers in there on the play to stop it. And the Blue Jays will be forced back about a yard to the 20. So it'll be 2nd down and 11.
And most times that Raytown has been met at the line, it's typically been when they've tried to run it outside. They've had way more success when they try to run it inside through the A or B gaps, but when they try to run through that C gap or the outside gap, the Tigers are able to just basically cut them off, and as we saw there, loss of 1 yard on the play.
Getting around there to the outside and stuffing it before the Blue Jays can find any daylight. Osahana Bevwin replacing Max Weisner here for this play. They'll hand it off to the left-hand side, and there it is. Osahan knocked it out. We'll have to wait and see who got it. Like I said, I'll go ahead and shout myself out when I do something well. I call out Osahan coming out onto the field. He gets a peanut punch on his first play. And it'll be 3rd and 16 for the Blue Jays. And this is the first time I've heard panic from the Blue Jays sideline. Everybody there yelling, trying to get the next play going. 3rd and 16, they got to recover here.
And I wonder if we're going to see a run or a pass here. It's like you said, 3rd and 16. Are the Blue Jays going to give in to the amount of yards they need?
No, they won't. Another pitch play here to the outside. They'll get it up back inside the 20-yard line. And they're inside pretty comfortable kicking range now as they're inside that 20-yard line.
However, they were pushed back by that peanut punch, as you said. And if Raytown is unable to get any points on the board this possession, great job by Osahan to get in there and obviously punch that ball out. And that could be huge if, like I said, if Raytown can't get any points on the board.
Well, there's 1:49 left. 4th down and a little over 11. 1:49 to play. They've been running the ball all game. Do they have the clock to get there if they want to go for it? That's barring them being able to actually get the first down. I believe here that we'll see a kick, if anything, from the Blue Jays. I don't think that there will be a whole lot else that they can pull off. That's just speculation from the booth. Obviously, there's a reason I'm not on the sidelines. I say that pretty often.
Yeah, it's obviously 4th and pretty long, 4th and 16.
4th and 11, I believe. They haven't updated it. I made the same mistake a second ago in my head.
Yes. I see it on the scoreboard now, 4th and 11. And they are going to go for it.
They're going to go for it.
Yeah.
We'll see here what they do. They've not struggled to get this type of yardage to this point in the ball game.
They may just be trying to get some free yardage here from the Tigers.
That
you saw that hard count.
Was what that was. Once again, they'll send him in motion, and there go the Tigers.
With
jumping offside.
3 seconds on the play clock, and Jordan, if I'm being honest with you, I don't think that they were ever going to snap that ball.
I don't either. I was going to say the same thing. It'll be 4th down and very doable now for what we've seen from this Blue Jays offense. 4th and 6. A fresh 25 on the play clock and still 1:49 to play with if they're able to get this first down here.
If you're the Tigers, you just have to be aware there, especially on 4th and long like that. Like, it was pretty obvious to us. I really don't think that they were going to try to snap the ball on that play. They had 3 timeouts, Raytown did.
I will mention here briefly before they take the snap, 3 receivers out to the left-hand side. And we may see something interesting here. We're going to go ahead and find a timeout instead of a play. It'll be on the Blue Jays. And once again, we'll take a quick pause in the action. We'll be back in just a moment. We'll see you soon.
No matter what your goals are, competing at the next level, participating in a local 5K, or leading your team to state, the Sports Medicine Center at Children's Mercy is here to provide comprehensive 360-degree care for student athletes. Performance training, injury prevention, rehab services, nutrition, mental wellness, surgery, and more. It's not
Believe we'll have to cut that one short just a bit. The Blue Jays here gonna go ahead and opt for a field goal. It's up. The Tigers nearly got there, but they'll split the uprights. 17-7 now our score. I hate to say the Tigers are going to be happy with that, but obviously better than giving up another 6 points or 7 here, barring, a missed PAT or something like that.
Yeah, that's just obviously if you're Raytown, goes exactly the way you want it to go. They weren't going to snap that ball, or at least we don't think they were going to, and they got their kicker 5 extra yards, and it proved to be good for them.
And we can't lie here, the Tigers have been prone to turnovers to this point in the year. And if I'm being honest here, I think the Blue Jays are likely looking for a mistake out of the Tigers, trying to get a touchdown here in 1:44. Now, this may be the first time that we see the Blue Jays actually go ahead and kick the ball off rather than the onside that we've been seeing to this point.
I mean, you never know.
Jeremiah Blakely, the kicker. He's had a couple of pretty solid kicks to this point, but I don't think that Raytown would do it. But then again, I didn't think that they would do it the first couple of times. So we'll just have to wait and see, I suppose.
Well, if they do it, I wouldn't kick it to John Moritz. He's been pretty reliable.
Lights out on those onside returns. You're absolutely right. And they'll shock the world and kick it right at Max Wisner. He's got a chance to get a couple of yards here on a return. Nobody really going to be able to tackle him as the Giant is finally forced out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. Correction, the 39-yard line.
Tigers are going to have just under 2 minutes to try to put some more points on the board. I think if they can get this within one possession, that would be huge. They get the ball to start the second half. They won the coin toss and deferred. And so here we go. The Tigers probably going to see some pass plays here for the majority of this drive.
1:40 left. They've got several options on either side, and we know how good those receivers for Lee Summit are. Gunning one out to the right-hand side, and that's probably the first ball I've ever seen Landon Shepard drop. He's always Mr. Consistent. I call him that up here in the booth. I have no reason other than, I guess, that one pass play there not to. That was his first target all night. We've seen him take a couple of snaps at quarterback. 1:36 left on the clock, second quarter of play. Before we go to halftime, the Tigers here trying to strike once more and potentially make this a one-possession ball game, a one-score ball game, I should say.
And notice Nate Morse in the slot here on the short side of the field, and there he goes in motion.
He was targeted the last time he went in motion. Here comes Locke out to the right-hand side, rolling out. Looking deep downfield, he goes all the way down and too far. The intended target there, I believe, was Alex Benassi, the star-studded punter for the Tigers.
Here's the problem, though. If you're the Tigers right now, you're leaving a lot of time on the clock for Raytown if you're unsuccessful on this third down attempt.
Not only that, but from the 37-yard line is where they're standing at right now. And Raytown, they marched up the field about 80 yards very quickly last time.
Yeah,
they did it in about 3 minutes.
It was that big run play. So if the Tigers are unable to convert this here, their star punter, Alex Benassi, is going to have to do some good work for him.
He's going to have to get it a long way back there. Locke once more rolling out to his right-hand side. Pressure coming. He's going to escape it, keep it himself, try to get to the first down. I believe he did so. They will mark him at about the 48-yard line, and that will move the chains. So a good read by Locke, keeping it himself, and I think he got out of bounds as well with 1:21 left.
Great
It's not
play.
dead yet for the Tigers.
Great play to keep the drive alive. That's exactly what the Tigers needed. And here we go, about 50 yards to get into that end zone. Can they do it with one timeout?
Here we go. Locke ready to pass again. Looking to the right-hand side. There goes Nate Morse grabbing another one. 3 for 3 on all of his targets tonight. Just a couple of seconds shaved off the clock. Another first down for the Tigers. Nate Morse is red hot when he grabs it. The deuce is loose tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and we saw Nate Morse last year kind of be more of a big play guy, the guy that would break out for some 60-yard catches, but, less targets. And this season we're seeing him, check down a lot more, a little more targets going on for him, just as we saw there.
Locke once again dropping, pressure coming to him immediately. It's Nicene Brewer, the one that's targeted. He's going to be wrapped up and brought down about 3 or 4 yards past the line of scrimmage. We've got about 1:08 remaining. And not surprisingly there, the Tigers will go ahead and call timeout. 17-7 our score. The Blue Jays on top. We'll see you in just a moment.
Whether we're rising to meet a moment or the moment comes to meet us, we make our mark by showing up for our team. And when we do, we build something special. We become something bigger, more than something that can be defined on a map. We become a community with a shared understanding that when we rise together, we rise higher. Community America, powering the rise of Kansas City.
Alrighty, 1:06 left here in the second quarter. We're back in the booth at Bud Hertzog Stadium. 2nd and 6 for the Tigers. And only 36 to go to get to the sweet end zone that they've been searching for the last 45 seconds or so. Locke dropping back to pass again. Pressure to his left. He doesn't even sense it. Firing over to the right-hand side into coverage. It was Davian Key that was there. Nate Morris was the intended receiver, and it never got a chance to get to him.
Sitting here at 3rd down, Jordan, I'm excited to see, interested to see what the Tigers are going to go for here. They're probably not in field goal range, obviously, because in high school you don't really see 50-yard field goals. So they need a few more yards to get in field goal range, but they got to get, they got to get that first down.
3rd down and 6. They're passing again. Locke going to his right-hand side. He's going to have to duck out of bounds very quickly. The pressure got there fast. The offensive line struggling to deal with the defensive line of the Blue Jays. And it'll be about 4th and 6 or 4th and 5. And I believe the Tigers are going to go ahead and go for it.
And I think that's the right call. If you're unsuccessful on that field goal attempt, you're leaving Raytown a great opportunity with their 2 timeouts. So I love this play call here from the Tigers. At this point, you just got to convert it.
4th and 4. The Raytown sideline is alive and well. Not sure if you can hear them or not, but we certainly can up here in the booth. They're excited about their lead. They're trying to hold it here. Locke rolling out to his left. Pressure behind him. Fires over to Shepard. The interception was dropped. It's caught by Landon Shepard, who's forced out of bounds. The Blue Jays doing him a favor, stopping the clock, getting the ball up to the 25-yard line. And the Tigers still have 50 seconds to try to hit pay dirt here before the half is over.
And who do you go to on 4th down? Mr. Consistent.
Mr. Consistent.
Mr. Consistent.
You have to. Here comes Locke passing again. Finds Brewer. This is the same play they scored on earlier. He's got space to the left-hand side. Still on his feet. Ring around the rosies. He stays on his feet and might have gotten in. No, wave dead at the 1-yard line. What a play. I'm losing my mind in the booth. Nicene Brewer, the fancy footwork to get around a couple of tackles, kept on going and finally brought down at the 1.
He would not go down, Jordan. He refused. How many guys were trying to do the ring around the rosy tackle on him, as you would say?
I think he did about 3 full spins, and it wasn't what he was trying to do. But again, he doesn't go down.
We should say 35 seconds left. Tigers with no timeouts on the 1-yard line. Can they punch this one in and make it?
Shepard in there at quarterback. The handoff will go to Johnson to the right-hand side. He's going to get in there, and the Tigers have 6 more on the board. 26.5 remaining. Lee Summit tacks on 6 more and a chance for Troy Huffman to make it 7.
Absolute perfection. And who else but Nicene Brewer keeping that drive alive. Wow.
I will say that is the best I've seen this Tigers offense look in a long time. And it's against this Raytown defense that you said hasn't allowed more than 30 points all year long. And the Tigers are currently on pace to put up about 28 if Huffman knocks this one through, which he does. 14-17, the Tigers' deficit is just 3. And they're making a run here at this Blue Jays team before halftime.
Man, I still can't get over what Nicene Brewer just did there to get that ball down to the 1-yard line. And if you're Brewer, you're obviously kind of kicking yourself because you're 1 yard short of the end zone, but obviously the coaching staff and everyone here knows that touchdown simply happened because of Nyseem Brewer.
That was a fantastic job to just stay on his feet and keep on moving. I'd like to see his yards after contact for that one. That was an impressive showcase. After getting hit the first time, he just kept on moving, broke a couple more tackles, and like you said, got all the way up to the 1. And they started that play on the 15-yard line, and he didn't catch it much more than just a couple yards out from the line of scrimmage.
And obviously we can't ignore the play before that on 4th down where they went to Landon Shepard, or Mr. Consistent, as we love to call him in the booth. Well, and obviously before that, Tommy Locke as well with the 5-yard scramble to keep the drive alive on the 4th down before that.
Whoever it was that dropped that interception is kicking themselves right now. That was a fantastic drive for the Tigers. Huffman with a low squib. And some trouble picking it up. They're going to grab it at about the 5. The Tigers are going to meet him finally at just short of the 20-yard line. It was Jimmy McGovern, I believe, that got there. And Zamari Gary getting his hands on the first time in what seems like a long time, even though the Tigers only had about a minute of play clock with the ball.
I think the Blue Jays are underestimating Troy Huffman's foot. He really can get that ball far back there.
That was a squib, and he almost got it to the end zone on a hop, and that's pretty impressive.
Obviously, that causes problems for the Blue Jays, and at that point, anything can happen.
That's the second time we've seen Gary sort of grab it back there with inside of his 5 and not have a whole lot to do with it just because of what was going on at the time. But now for the first time, and again, what feels like a little while, White Bear back there behind under center, and here comes a pass from the Blue Jays. Just a little screen out to the right-hand side of the field. Tigers trying to bring him down. 2 flags thrown at the scene of the first broken tackle. It's Freddie Ursery there that was the target.
And I won't lie, I'm surprised that we saw a pass play there. If anything, I thought that Raytown was just going to try to take a knee or, to send us into the half, but they actually went for the risk. Anything can happen on little short check down passes like that. Sometimes the linemen can get their hands up and intercept that ball. So I'm not sure I completely agree with that call to use their second pass play of the game right there. But, I mean,
well, there's just 13.4 left on the clock here in this half. But the Blue Jays have broken away for a couple of big ones in this one. Don't put it past them to get into the end zone again. Another pass play. Consecutive pass plays for the second time, or for the first time tonight. The ball came out on the tackle. They're going to mark him down. Lawan Miller was the first one that was back there bringing any sort of pressure. And then Bud Crawford got back there and finished the job.
Like I said, anything can happen on pass plays. That was almost a fumble right there, and the Tigers could have had a chance to kick a long field goal if they were to recover that one.
Timeout called by the Blue Jays. I think we're seeing for the first time why they've elected to run the ball, 97 times to this point. Just 3 pass plays. We've seen an incomplete pass, a screen pass for about 3 yards, and then a fumble, a sack in the backfield when the ball popped out on contact. 2nd and 14 for the Blue Jays. Again, just 5.9, and they call a timeout here because they like their chances. 17-14 our score. Why not go for it one more time here with time still on the clock?
Yeah, see, if I'm Raytown, I really try to play conservative here because, aside from those 2 drives that the Tigers have had, the Tigers offense has struggled, a little bit in some certain aspects in terms of just getting the ball down the field. Because, that first touchdown drive was just about a 50-yard drive that was the result of that failed onside kick. So if I'm Raytown, I just take a knee here and take it into half, but that doesn't look like that's what they're going to do.
A flag is thrown as the pitch was tossed. Still running on the play, that was Jordan Robinson. That's really the first action that he's seen all night. There's several flags down. We could see him going against both sides. There's no time left on the clock.
I will take a moment to say, Jordan, it is really, really awesome to see that we can have a little bit more fans in the crowd this time around. I heard average attendance for the new plan was going to be around 450, and looks like that's just going to take us to halftime.
Well, I guess it must have not been enough to get the Blue Jays to the end zone, so we'll go ahead and wave it off here. I can hear screams of let's go. Momentum finally for the Tigers. 14-17, Tigers trailing going into halftime. It's been a great effort to this point. We'll take a quick break up here in the booth, catch our breaths. We'll be back in just a moment.